Hello and welcome to the Hemingway Jones live fountain pen show, live and in person. Yes, it's really me. And I'm here. I know I haven't been live, and then I faked you all out last night, which I apologize for. So if you're not following along with the channel, what happened was last night, evidently, I went live, only I wasn't here to be and enjoy it. So essentially, all of you were able to chat for about a half hour, and I'm really not entirely sure what happened. But something along the lines of me trying to schedule this live and probably hit the wrong day somehow. So I apologize for that, but we are back together again. I'm very happy to be here in our little corner of the internet where we talk about fountain pens, inks, journals, and journaling. Just about everything and anything that keep you inspired. That's the point. Inspiration. Also, wow, can I tell you, I am really happy to be live again. I had a bit of a rough day. I woke up this morning with another stomach bug. I don't know what it is with me and stomach bugs. Maybe it's my way of trying to get thin for the summer. I don't know. But hasn't been very pleasant, but I am bouncing back yet again, and I'm happy to be here. Of course, I was not here last week. Very, very busy week. Interesting week in my life. My team at work expanded, had a lot more responsibilities. Fortunately, I did have a video queued up and ready to go, which is really, really good. Really excited about that. And that was on the new Navalar fountain pen from Tom Odo. I hope you saw that. And then last week's video was super fun. It was the top 5 purse pens. Nice alliteration there, purse pens, because I couldn't think of anything fountain pen related for handbags. So top 5 purse pens, welcoming Hemingway Jones's wife Helen to the channel. Again, wanted to do something a little different. Wanted her to have kind of the lead on this one. Like this was more all her and her information, her experiences. And I was more kind of the comic sidekick, the comic relief. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's still up on the channel, as it always is. I see many of the usual suspects are here. Always love to see the same crowd here on the Tuesday night stream show. I see BJ's here. Daily Charm Addict, the mighty John Manuel is here as well. Kurt Geisinger, who's always here. The eminent author, Kurt Geisinger. Wolf Kate Witch, who's been with me almost from the beginning. Always nice to see Kate. And Judy Anderson, one of the first people to tell me that I was not live last night, even though I thought I was. And I sort of took a night off. That's why I didn't see your messages. I was watching Dune 2 with my lovely wife, which we didn't finish, so don't put any spoilers in the chat. But yeah, Dune 2, pretty great, pretty visually stunning. A lot of movies and television shows that I enjoy are visually compelling, like Ripley, which is amazing, and you're going to see it on the channel in a couple of weeks. This week's video on Thursday is fountain pens and watches. This is a video that many people have asked me to make, and I've been very, very hesitant to do so, but probably for the last 3 years, people have been saying, almost 3 years. The channel's been around for like 2.5, and I've really taken it seriously for a week and a half. But people have been asking for a fountain pen and watch video, so that is coming. Well, I want to thank Marcus Souza with the first super chat of the night. Thank you very much, my friend. I really appreciate it. He's very thankful we're live again. I'm thankful to see you. Very thankful that you're here. Thank you for the support. Helps keep the lights on. And my lighting looks good tonight. I think the lights are staying on, which is very nice. Thank you, Marcus, my friend. Miss Marilyn Darling is here. How are you? Nice to see you too. Lovely folks here this evening. So we have a really good show for you this evening. It's going to be a little bit more free form, but there are definitely things I want to touch on. One is Sailor and my relationship with Sailor Pens. Not the company. I don't know them. I just mean the pens themselves. And sort of what it has led up to and where it seems to be going. And it's like a breakup, right? When you're like, it's not you, it's me. It's not you, Sailor. It's not your fault. It's me. I'm just not ready to commit yet. Sorry. So we can talk about that as the night goes on. Also, some birthday presents to share with you, or at least one very dramatic one. Stay tuned for that. It's shocking what my wife bought me for my birthday. Shocking. The other thing is Omas sent a pen. Omas sent a Bologna fountain pen, and it just arrived, and it's still in the box. I haven't opened it, so I thought I would do it live, and then hopefully I get to film with it very soon and put up something. I'm super excited when Omas sends a pen along. I have an Ogiva. I absolutely love that pen. It is beautiful. It is smooth. It's amazing. This one looks even more. So that's another interesting thing coming up tonight. Usually I tell you about which pen I'm writing with these days. So let me tell you about this pen. This is a pen I've been really over the moon about. And this is, of course, the All-Star Safari. I mean, it's really the All-Star, but it's a Safari, let's be honest. In aluminum. Absolutely brilliant pen that was donated to the channel by Joost Applebaum. Joost, one of my closest friends here in the fountain pen community, an actually absolutely lovely guy. Love to get to the Dutch Pen Show. If you're watching this from the Netherlands or around that area, check out the Dutch Pen Show because I can't be there. So I do want to tell you what I did with this, and it has a sister too. And I know I'm not going to be able to hold on to these for very long because my wife loves the Lamy Safari. My wife wrote with a Lamy Safari at university in York. She loves that fountain pen. She has a lovely mint green one of her own, which is very nice. But so I've been writing with this. I am over the moon on Safari right now. I have been researching them, their designer, where the name came from, all these things. I just recorded a video on this pen and its sister or brother, the Fiery Red. And I put the whole history of its development, of its release, of where its name came from. It's a fantastic video. I really like it. It's scheduled for, I think it's July 11th. It's the week after July 4th. I'm not going to do a video, I don't think, that week. I might go live twice. I'm not sure. Or I might do another fun, loose one like I did with the letter locking video, if you've watched that. Sometimes I do these ones that are a little easier for me to make. Whoopsie. And I put them up on a week where people really aren't watching YouTube or I can't be live. So we're going to do something fun that week. But the week after will be the most comprehensive Lamy Safari video, perhaps you've ever seen. Miss Marilyn Darling asks a question which I am more than happy to answer. It does indeed. It has the beautiful sapphire translucent grip. Absolutely gorgeous. So, yeah, this was given to the channel by Joost Applebaum. I think it's like $25, 25 US dollars for an aluminum Safari. Brilliant pen, black nib. I love that. It's one of my favorites. I really, really like it. Janice prefers the All-Star to the Safari. Materials make a big difference. You know, I love the Safari, and I call this a Safari, and it really is, but it's different material, right? But the Vista is also, I like a little more than the basic Safari. But the funny thing about the Vista that I adore about that pen is that it still has the ink view window. I love that. I don't know why, but it still does. So, okay, I want to show you the most shocking birthday gift I received from my wife. And I'm sure you're going to see this on the channel quite a bit. It's in the Safari video. And this is what my wife got me for my birthday, which, I mean, maybe only Hemingway Jones would ask for the most realistic replica skull she could find. And this one came from, it's like Studio Veronese, or Veronese. And it has an articulated jaw, so he can speak. He can clatter his teeth a bit. Of course, I had to name him Yorick. You know, alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, Horatio. So, from here, his lips hung. I can't remember the line. Well, I never knew that one, but it's a good speech. You know, I was speaking to my wife about how in Hamlet they tend to conflate the Yorick speech with the to be or not to be soliloquy, where often you'll see a picture of Hamlet and he's looking at Yorick and it says, you know, to be or not to be. Two different soliloquies, but they visually, this feels like to be or not to be, doesn't it? If you're addressing a skull. So anyway, my wife bought me this. We also went to the Mount Washington Hotel. And we had dinner, and my daughter got to swim in the pool, both inside and outside. We had breakfast every day. It was lovely and indulgent and fantastic family time. I filmed a little bit, but not a lot, because it was family time and we had a brilliant time. So absolutely so much fun. Like such a great bonding experience for the family, which is really nice. David Black says, I think of the Skeleton the Last Unicorn. And David Berlin says, cool for drawing practice. Yes, yeah. It is, and that's another thing we might do. We do family art day, but I don't know if I want my 7-year-old drawing Yorick. She is bemused by him. She likes to pick him up and she talks with him. Like, she actually was joking with me that one of our local restaurants is what happened to poor Yorick, because one of the local restaurants put lettuce in my burrito. Never put lettuce in a burrito. Please, for me, just don't. Okay? All right, you know what? I'm going to open the Omas box, the Bologna from Omas, after I talk about our main topic, because I often forget to get to the main topic. And I also want to, tell you about my day. So I had intended to go to work today, but I couldn't make it. I had to work from home. And working from home is incredibly productive because there are very few distractions. I had quite a bit to do and quite a bit to catch up on. And I'm the type of person that feels a lot of stress when I can't do things. Ooh, there's a high-pitched noise. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Wow, there's another super chat from Alfredo Gallardo, super chart, 100 Mexican dollars. Hemingway Jones evolves into Hamlet. It could happen, my friend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Is that what MX is? I think it's Mexico. But thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you for helping to keep the lights on. This light, though, is a bit intrusive. Have you ever noticed this light? It tends to be all over the place. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's there. Sometimes I film and I forget and it's sort of there. That's terrible. I hate that. And then I try to crop it out. But We're going to put it over here and get it out of the way. But Alfredo, my friend, thank you so much. It's extremely kind of you, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. You guys keep me motivated, really. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't continue. I do this for the members and for the regular viewers. This is a hobby for me, and sometimes I do get disenfranchised from my own channel. I think everyone does. And hi, Shaq. Nice to see you, my friend. Always great when Shaq MD's here. Everyone, you want to see some beautiful handwriting, go follow Shaq MD. He's a lovely, lovely guy with a fantastic hand. Amazing artistry. But when you make videos, you're not prepared. Perhaps you're not prepared. I hate to make generalizations. Let's say I was not prepared for the stifling negativity that goes along with it. You know, it's like you put something up, you get a bunch of beautiful people saying beautiful things. Like, I'm here to inspire you guys, to just share my journey in discovering fountain pens. Whether it's piston-filled Kaweco, I want to share it with you. It's like Christmas. You get something like this. What can it do? How's it different from another sport? Let's talk about it. Share with me your experience. That's my perspective on this channel. I always go from the point of view that my audience is smarter than I am. That's the point of view, the creative perspective of this channel, is that each of you is smarter than I am. I'm the one on the journey. I'm the one learning. I'm the one sharing. I might be a little pretentious about art, literature, and the things that I'm passionate about. I'm always trying to learn more in that regard. When it comes to fountain pens, it's you that I feel has more knowledge. So when I get interesting perspectives in the comments, it's so motivating. But sadly, you open your heart up, and what often flows in is just this oppressive negativity, personal attacks, or people that attacking you through the pen. I'm not personally invested in the pen. I just want you to enjoy the video. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entertain you. And we're learning together. We're sharing a journey. And I do have a lot of valuable insights because I approach this very individualistically. I don't look for consensus. I shun consensus. I don't look at other channels to see what they say about a certain pen. I don't carry the same, I was going to say prejudices, but that sounds like even though it's accurate, I think, it sounds like too heavy a word. But let's just say I don't carry the same preconceived notions that you'll often see in closed communities like the fountain pen communities, where there's people that'll say certain things like, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of one. Maybe somebody in the comments could tell me one. But these things that you see over and over and over again, because one person has cut and pasted another person's opinions. This is the problem with Google right now. And I know I'm going off on a rant here, but I think that's why you guys are here. So I'm just going with it. You try to Google some information now and you get the same article 7 times from a different provider, BuzzFeed, Media, whatever, all these different sources where they're really just taking information from some other source, cutting, pasting it, putting a few pictures, pretending it's an article. You get sucked in, you look, you learn nothing. It's so hard to learn anything. And all the real information is behind paywalls. Or here in actual books. That's where you discover real information. So for me, I don't get a Lamy Safari or a Kaweco Sport and start looking at what the other channels say. I'm afraid of that. I want to have a unique perspective. I want to be able to kind of share a different angle on something. And to the extent that I'm successful in that, is the extent that I'm pleased about this channel. But there are a lot of gatekeepers out there, and there's a lot of people that take things very, very personally. I remember once I made a I guess it was one of my phrases. I always say, let's look at this, shall we? It's just something I say, something I have always said. And somebody was like, you can't say that. Somebody else says it. And I'm like, I don't think they copyright the English language. You know, that's the kind of thing that really bugs me. It just does. And the negativity, you know, like I've done videos on how to make a letter pretty. And you get comments like, if you sent me that letter, I'd throw it in the garbage. You know, it's like, people are just funny. I don't get it. This is a hobby for me. I don't know why I put myself through this sometimes. Okay, sailor. And I wanted to have my sailor here with us to talk about sailor. It's not necessarily necessary. That was a terrible sentence. But I did. And I didn't want to change the topic tonight, but I wasn't able to go into my office to get my sailor. And specifically, we are talking about the Sailor 1911L with a 21 carat nib. 21. 21. So, what is it about this pen? I bought this pen a long time ago, and I truly thought it just has one of the most aesthetically beautiful nibs. I love the sailor symbol with the anchor. I love the way it looks and the way it's crafted. It's very pretty. However, I just found it difficult to get excited about it. There is nothing in Sailor that resonates with me the same way, say, Pilot does or Mont Blanc. There are certain brands that resonate with me where I like their heritage or I know about their heritage. Because with Sailor, I don't know a lot about Sailor. I think I know one thing, that they were founded in 1911. That's about all I know about Sailor. But I had this pen and it's really pretty, and those of you that have it know that it has the same basic dimensions as a Mont Blanc 146. They look very similar, and I love the Mont Blanc 146. Love it. Now that one has a calligraphy nib, so it gets a little bit of a leg up. However, the Sailor does have this 21 karat nib, which I thought would be very, very unique on its own. The first couple times I wrote with it felt unremarkable to me. And I'm going to circle back to this because I honestly feel like that's on me. And we're going to circle back. I think it's the fact that it has a converter and not a piston filler that it sort of got marginalized. It got pushed into the corner of my collection. And I didn't spend very much time with it. And I just didn't really enjoy it that much. And I didn't have sort of a story or a compelling narrative that would make me want to film with it very often or visit it very often. But Debbie doesn't have any Sailors. I have two. But I barely used it. So this is what happened. I think I'm so busy lately in writing videos, producing videos, my responsibilities at work, with my family. I sometimes get a little flighty. Now, I often carry this very inexpensive pen case, which has a lot of crush room. And I put even expensive pens. Like right now, I have my Mont Blanc 149 in here, which I carry to work quite often. But here's the thing. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I forget and I leave it on my desk. In fact, more often than not, it just stays on my desk all day and I forget it. And then I go to work and I have two pens at work. I have a hover pen, which is more like a desk ornament. Believe it has a Schmidt nib, actually writes quite well. It It has a converter. It's magnetic, so the cap has a magnet on a little base, and it sort of floats. It's kind of charming. They sent it to me to make a TikTok years ago. By years, I mean 2 years ago. And I put it in my office, and it's nice. It's a good, decent backup. But it's kind of long. It's almost like a desk pen, so you're not sticking it in your pocket. It's staying on your desk, which is fine. It's nice to have it there. The second one, and if you saw the 5 best purse pens video, you would have seen this pen, except when it was out on loan. And that is my Kaweco Lilliput in fiery blue. That is always in my bag. It's always there in my bag. Fountain Pen Therapy's here. Always a pleasure. Vincenzo. Buonasera. 1911 is the only sailor I own, and I never use it. Yeah, we have a similar story. So I'm gonna keep telling this story. So nice to see you, my friend. It was great. I had him on the show a few weeks back. Check out our interview. Lots of videos for you guys to watch if you haven't. So in the 5 purse pens video, we talk about the Kaweco Lilliput. Very nice pen, solid pen, but it's a bit of effort. A lot of screwing and unscrewing just to write, and at work, I'm signing my name. That's what I'm doing mostly. Signing. Bam. Taking a few notes, signing. Probably sign my name 10 times a day. But I love having the Lilliput as my backup piece. By the way, I'm doing a What's in Your Bag video. I filmed that. It's somewhere in the schedule coming up. What's in my bag? What kind of bag does Hemingway Jones carry? I do carry a bag. Now you'll see it. And we go through it. I did it like those Vogue videos, which you've probably never seen, but I do watch. And sometimes it's ridiculous. I didn't do the ridiculous thing. And now I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm going to circle right back to Sailor. In these Vogue What's in My Bag videos, it's usually a creative person or a model or an actor or whatnot. I don't watch the celebrity ones because I don't like celebrities. I have a visceral aversion to celebrities, with some exceptions. Very, very few. But I am anti-celebrity. And I think no one should follow a celebrity on social media because you guys are much more important. You're much more interesting than some celebrity. That's my opinion. So they'll take their bag and it's like a Louis Vuitton never fill. And they start pulling things out of it. And they're like, these are my headphones. And this is my favorite snack. And when I fly, I like to have this lavender face mask or whatnot. I don't know why I'm fascinated by these videos, but I love them. But they're starting to get ridiculous. And somebody like reaches in and pulls out like a goat. Well, maybe not a goat. But I did see one where somebody pulled out like books that would not have fit in that bag. Although there is a really good series on the... it's Christian Dior makes a book tote bag, which has this really interesting woven print. And they go to a bookstore after hours and these people shop for books and they talk about which books they would put in their bag. And then they pretend like they're able to take them home. Very interesting stuff. So I did a video like that. Okay, so here's the thing. So you have your backup Kaweco Lilliput in your bag. It's very much a backup. So what happens is sometimes I forget my pens at home, and it's happening more often than not. Then I get to the office and I don't want to use the hover pen. I don't want to use a Kaweco Lilliput. It's more of a backup. So what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What was that movie? Speed, right? What do? You get to the office, hotshot, and you don't have your pen. What do? So, this is what I did. I decided to make a list of what the perfect fountain pen would be, and then I narrowed it down to a few, and I realized that dimensionally and performance-wise, the Sailor 1911L has a lot going for it. Because as much as I prefer piston fill fountain pens, and I do, and I'll buy them over a cartridge converter any day of the week, and I will a lever fill as well, even though they both have their downsides. The best filling system, and I think the best, is a cartridge converter. It just is. because if there's a problem, you just toss it and put in a cartridge, or you buy a new converter if it breaks. Whereas a piston fill, it's going to need a little more love and attention to get it going again. So this is my conclusion. That's the best filling system. And I think I've done a video on the best filling system. If I haven't, I really should. I'm going to check that. So I started to make this objective list where I just took myself out of it, all my associations, my passions, everything else. And I came up with, what are the attributes of a fantastic business pen? Because I work in a bank. I'm a senior vice president of a bank. You would never think that. Are you guys trying to guess what kind of bag I use? John Manuel says he uses a satchel. I don't know if you're talking about me or someone else, because I know you have your own conversations, which I love. I love that about you guys. But you will be surprised which bag I carry on a regular basis, because I do have several. But which one I actually carry? William Catalano says, I love piston filler the most as well. Yeah, me too. I do love them the most. And converter is your second choice. Me too. Well, I probably would take a lever fill over a converter, despite its drawbacks, which are many. Burping. They often wear out quickly, even though it's a very simple mechanism. But I love the romance of it. I am a sucker for romance. So, what I've decided is I would take my poor, neglected, but beautiful Sailor 1911L and take it into the office and leave it there. So I wanted to share that story with it in my hand, but it is there, and I did not go there today because I still have a tummy ache. But I'm so happy that it's there, because now I don't really have to bring my Montblanc or any other pen. I have 2 bottles of ink at work. It's probably no surprise which inks they are. Maybe one is. I'm sure you guys could guess at least one of them. Let me know in the chat some of your guesses, and if you're watching from home, leave me a comment which inks you think, and I'll tell you in a second. I also want to break in and put a commercial for myself here. If you've made it 30-something minutes into this live stream, please subscribe. More than half of you don't, and I'd love to get to know you. I need more positive people. Comment section's rough out there sometimes, guys. Would love to have you. Okay, so back to the 1911 story. And Miss Marilyn Darling, thanks for the concern. I appreciate it. It is now there. As I write with it, that 21 karat nib that I gave very short attention to is actually brilliant. Krengar, you're very close. You got one of them. One of them. Although your second suggestion, your first suggestion is right. Eclat de Saphir is one of the inks. Pearl Noir is not the other. But it should be. It should be. But most everyone is getting... A lot of people are saying oxblood. It's not oxblood, guys. I see a lot of you saying, yeah, Yorkie Mama. Usually you'd be right. It's not oxblood this time. I'll tell you in a minute. The 21 karat gold nib on that Sailor 1911 feels like the Pilot Custom 823 nib. It's smooth. It gives you a bit of feedback. There's a bit of vibration where the tines hit the grain of the paper, but in a beautiful way, and yet it's still smooth and precise and no false starts, and just absolutely brilliant writing. I am enjoying it thoroughly. Anubis would be a great one. So much. Lots of great... You guys are all picking my favorite inks. You're definitely paying attention. It's actually a kind of a cheat. I should just tell you. It's Waterman Serenity Blue. I just feel like it's a really good, solid business ink. So that's the other one. It's totally ridiculous that I have 2 blue inks at work. It's because I'm a banker. It goes back to the times when you had to sign your name in blue to prove it was you signing and not a color scan or color copy in the old days, as we used to say. Ali J asks, what size nib is the Sailor? It's a medium. A medium. And if you blindfolded me and you put that in my hand and you put the Pilot Custom 823 in my hand, except for the ergonomics of the pen, I'm not sure I could tell the nibs apart. It's brilliant. I don't know how I missed that. But now I'm going to have a lot of time to experience that because it's staying in my office. I see Deanne in her orb says Y2 blues, but I just answered that, so I think you know now. I think you know. Y2 blues. So there you have it. Clayton Sanders says real estate documents have to be signed in blue. Not so much anymore, which is weird. But I still sign them in blue. But it's very inconsistent now. It's sort of not required so much anymore. So, yeah, the banker is still with the blues. Hey, Rob Rutherford, how are you? Nice to see you. Also a supporter of the 2 blues. So, if you can get your hands on a Sailor 1911L with a 21 karat nib, I highly recommend it. The pen is superb. And I think you'll see it on this channel sometime soon because I'll be at work writing and I know something will come to me. Something. All right. Let's open a box. Shall we? Shall we? You know, let me make a grand statement, though, because the whole Sailor thing was like, it's not you, Sailor, it's me. It truly was. And I think if there's a moral, or there's no moral, but there's a lesson to this story. The lesson to this story is, don't write off a pen. Sometimes you were in a different place when you got it, and you didn't understand it. It's sort of like that Indiana Jones drop I use a lot, where it's like, I understand its power now. And that's how it is with the Sailor pen. I get it. I didn't get it at the time, but now I do. And it's brilliant. All right, let's find a box. Here's a box. It came from Omas, and I haven't opened it. But I'm excited to. But I like to do these things when we're together. Nice vintage map of, does anyone know which city this is? I hope you know instantly which city this is. Okay. Let me know in the comments which city. Raven the Light. What's in the box? What's in the box? I'm going to do that as a drop one of these days. By drop, I mean when I break the narrative of a video and I use a clip from a movie. That's what I call a drop. This is exciting. What is it? The excitement's killing me. I hope it will last. Is that the Oscar Wilde line? Omas. I like the way they write Omas. It's got sort of a Gatsby feel to it, doesn't it? The other thing I really love about Omas, have you heard my diatribes about in-house nibs? These are in-house nibs. I love in-house nibs. I think we should support them as a community. And why? I'm going to break back. Camera one. Why in-house nibs? Because if Yovo and Schmidt are making all the nibs, you're just not going to get a lot of variation. Imagine if every fine watch was powered by an ETA. Imagine that. Hey, Hobbs. Nice to see you. So, in-house nib makers allow for the weird. Pilot E95S is a weird aquiline nib. The Mont Blanc Egyptomania is a weird, beautiful, soft nib. The Peniter quill nib. Is that in-house? I don't know about Peniter, but I've never seen another quill nib. So whatever it is, it's unique, it's gold, it's weird, it's flexy, like no one's business, and it has 0 line variation. What an awesome nib. I like weird. I like unique. If it's all Jowo, all Schmidt, you start to ask yourself, do I need another one? I do love, like Conway Stewart has John Sirical, who personally finishes off every Jowo gold nib, transcends it into something else, something unique, something from the hand of an artisan. Mont Blanc, in-house. Pelican, in-house. M1000, a very weird nib. A very awesome nib. There's a video coming up on the Pelican M800 soon, too. Hey, Chris Sines is here. Hi, Chris. So lovely to see you. Oh, there's a notification. Everyone, sign up for notifications. Why don't you? I'd love to have you. I need more lovely people like Chris Sines. Omas. My camera is so excited. It's shaking. Do you see that? That's how excited my camera is. All right, let's get this off. Do you love these? I feel like Christmas when this happens. And by the way, thank you, Omas, for sending this. Frank is just such a lovely, lovely guy. So nice of him to send it. So is this the big moment? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's next, but this could be the big moment. Drum roll. Drum roll, please. Okay. Nope, it wasn't the big moment. But it was a moment. I like this. Look, they make it easy for me. Because do you know my wife calls me Honey Badger? Did I ever tell you guys that? My wife, the nickname my wife has for me is Honey Badger. Because I will chew through a box. Nothing gets in my way. I will chew through it. I'll rip something to get into it. Like a honey badger. Ooh, Adam. Thank you very much. Adam Metafusion with $2.99 super chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Adam. What a guy. I appreciate all the super chats, guys. I really do. Thank you. Okay. Here we go. Ooh. Oh. Cushy. Here it is. Wow. So this is the Ametista Profundo. It's amethyst, and it's meant to look like the celluloid from the 30s and the 40s. Wow, it's pretty. Wow, this is pretty, guys. Wow. I should have gloves on because I'm going to film with this again. But this, oh, wow. It looks pretty on camera. Wow. And by the way, I don't know if we mentioned, but this is Venice. All right? It's Venice. Let's take a look at the nib. Ooh. Ooh, that's pretty. It has a nice balance. It's hard to tell, but it feels a little on the soft side, but a beautiful arrow on it. I love that. Love it. Ooh, it's got nice balance. Very nice. Ooh, I almost want to ink it up, but now's not the time. But we will be inking this up soon. This is the Bologna Ametista Profundo. Beautiful. Omas makes beautiful pens. Look at that nib. In-house. Ebonite feed. Look at the feed too. Old school. Looks like an old Waterman feed. Love it. Love it. Wow. You know, how do you not put Eclata Sapphire in here? Am I wrong? Or maybe if I had Edelstein Amethyst, which I don't have, but if I did, it would be perfect. Very cool stuff. I'm looking at your comments. Alejandro Patafuego says, beautiful. Thank you very much. Artful Stationer says, cool nib. Cool nib, bruh. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Miss Marilyn Darling says, tease. You know I am. You know I'm going to milk this. But sincerely, like, it would be a lot to fill it and then write with it. Especially right now. I'm really not at my best, guys. I don't know if you can tell, but I have a splitting headache. And yet, here I am. Because the show must go on once I know I need to show up for it. Unlike last night. Craftomatic, hello. Deep blue is stunning, right? Really? Very, very gorgeous pen. And you know, with me and the way I evaluate, sorry. The way I evaluate a pen, right? So for me, if it's an Omas, or it's a Jinhao, or a Mahjong, or a Twisby, or a Mont Blanc, or a Pelican, or a Platinum, whatever it is, Lamy, whatever it is, it's the pen that's in front of me. That's what I evaluate. I don't care about things like, I know a lot of people with Omas, they're worried about where the name came from, who has the right to the name. I don't care. I don't care about that. I just don't. I care whether or not this is a beautiful pen. If they lost the name or they changed their names, like Navalar changed their name, if Omas changed their name, I care about the pens. Is the pen awesome? Now, is there a story to tell through that? Absolutely. And if I had something original to say about it, would I? I absolutely would. But I'd need something original to say. Which, by the way, reminds me that I do have something original to say about something else. Which I almost forgot. But I had a really great transition there, so thank you. I need my iPad for this. Did I ever tell you guys how much I love this thing? My whole life is in this iPad. It's an iPad Pro. I write on this. I make everything on here, except I can't edit my videos. They're too big. They're all in HD. Can't do it. All right. Do you remember a few weeks back, I spoke about Ellington Pens and how they sent me some pens to review, and I'm dying to dive into them. As soon as I feel better, I'm going to film with them. But I asked them some questions. I wanted to know if they were truly made in the UK. That was very important to me because they said they were made in the UK. So I asked them the question. You remember I came to you all and I said, well, it's been like 2 weeks and I haven't answered back? They've answered back. So I have somewhat of a scoop here, I think. Ooh, $5 super chat from Wolfgate Witch. One of my favorite people. Thank you so much. So, so kind. Thank you. Thank you so much. Kate's been with me since the beginning, and one of the people I've actually met in person, which is very nice. So we have a scoop. I need now, like, graphics to come up. Hemingway Jones exclusive. Wouldn't that be awesome? I need that. I'll probably won't do that. But okay. So this is their response for me asking them about their inspiration, about whether or not they were made in-house, how they are the smoothest fountain pen, and all that. By the way, I am going to film with this pen. I think they sent me 2. Yeah, they did. And I'm going to objectively evaluate them. And then I'm going to mention some of this stuff. Because it's a scoop, a Hemingway Jones exclusive. Hit that like button if you have it. You're getting exclusives. Thank you. It says, hi, Timothy. Because that's me. Apologies for the delayed response. Things have been quite busy here at Ellington Pens, but we're happy to hear you're planning a video about our brand. I am. We're happy to provide some information to make your video even more insightful. To confirm, our pens are designed in the UK, but we partner with a specialized workshop in China for assembly. This collaborative approach allows us to offer exceptional quality and craftsmanship at accessible prices, passing the savings directly on to our customers. Okay, so there you have it. They're made in China. They're designed in the UK. similar to Scrivener. By the way, I hold no animus toward the production capabilities of China, not the political stance of China, not the system of China, the production capabilities of China. They can make amazing things. As a matter of fact, you know those crystal skulls? You know about the crystal skulls? I forget their names. They have a name like Benson something, crystal skull. And they said no human being could make a skull like that. Well, they handed a hunk of quartz to a Chinese craftsman and he made it in about 12 hours. So, amazing craftsmanship from there. All right. Here's a bit on the nibs. Regarding the nibs, we do indeed use Yovo nibs in many of our pens. We've selected them for their reputation for quality and smooth writing experience. All of our nibs are made to our unique specifications, ensuring they perfectly complement our pen designs. All very reasonable. Very reasonable. I'd appreciate a bit more transparency on their website, but very, very reasonable, and a lot of companies don't say where their nibs come from. Very nice that they came out and said this. And they talk about Mr. Ellington. He has a mathematical background. He's been pivotal in the design process. Meticulously works on the proportion and balance of each pen. I love the sound of that. I love balance. Resulting in writing instruments that are not only aesthetically pleasing, but also incredibly comfortable to hold and to use, which we'll find out soon. The octagonal cap, as you correctly pointed out, is a nod to our first 8 pen designs, a subtle detail that reflects our brand's journey. Okay. Beyond these details, here are some additional design elements you might find interesting. And I do. I love this stuff. And by the way, huge credit to them for sharing this. Do you know how many brands ignore me entirely? Benu was like, thanks for the review, very nice, when I asked stuff from them. Diamine, nothing. Never returned any inquiry on, as much as I talk about Diamine. Who talks about Diamine Oxblood more than I do? I love that ink. I would bathe my body in that ink if I could. Wow, that would be awful. Can you imagine? Anyway, ask them some questions. Nothing. The void of space. So this is fantastic that they're telling us these things. And I can't wait to put this in the video. Color palettes. Our color choices draw inspiration from offering styles that cater to diverse tastes. Okay, well, hey, I guess that's anybody. Materials. We use premium materials like stainless steel for the barrel, brass for the trim and clip. All that. And it goes on. So there you have it. A bit of a revelation. And I'm really excited to film with those pens, because with me, they get a fair shake. I evaluate it objectively as a thing of beauty first. And then how does it inspire me? And something I say often in my reviews, I don't know if you ever heard me say this, but I'll say things like, who am I when I write with this pen? And it's true. It's like, how do I feel when I use it? That means a lot to me. Antonio Rosario's a writer's blood. You know, I like writer's blood. I find it to be just a touch more purple than oxblood. But I do like it. BJ says, Diamine's busy making ink. And you know what? They don't need me. That's why they don't answer. But I need them, and I appreciate getting a quote. I was an English major back at university, and I had at least one journalism class, and I took it very seriously. And that's a bit of a pretension to pretend you're a journalist just based on one class. But nevertheless, I do strive to introduce some journalistic elements. When I do a pen review, if I can get a quote from a source, that's fantastic. I don't always have the time because this is a hobby. I make my videos now in increasingly small windows of time. It's small. I film sometimes in the hour between when my daughter goes to bed and my wife comes down. So that's between like 8 and 9. I do filming, or I'll do it very early in the Saturday morning, something like that. So it's a challenge. I don't always have the opportunity to get as much information as I want, but I try. I do try. I do try. Ooh, a live stream with the Oxblood bath. That's who was it? Was it Countess Bathoy who did that? That could be interesting. I don't know. I only have writer's blood, so I don't know how different they are. Allie J, you don't have Oxblood? Really? Really? I'm gatekeeping all over the place here. So here is York. Once again, I can't tell. I'm so over the moon with this. My wife is so cool. She's the best. Now I have a friend on my desk. I feel like Saint Stephen in it. Not is it Saint Jerome? Saint Jerome in his study. He always had a skull on his desk. How very pagan of Saint Jerome. But there he was. And you know how they had the two pens in medieval times, like the scraper and the regular one. Yeah. Thanks, William Catalano. That's exactly the reference I was stretching for. David Black, too. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a quick hour. We went to some amazing places, didn't we? Follow on Instagram, too, if you have the inclination, because sometimes you can get a hint of what's coming on the channel over on Instagram. Because I like to post a lot over there, and sometimes there are pics of pens that just came in like this. Might go up very soon. York was all over Instagram. My trip to Mount Washington, the Mount Washington Hotel, also on Instagram. So check me out over there if you haven't. Anyway. So, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. Check out this week's video, Watches and Fountain Pens. It should be interesting. It will be interesting, I promise you. Because, if nothing else, my videos are interesting and entertaining. And I am always here for you guys. I appreciate you all for being here. And I can promise you one thing. We will see each other again very, very soon, further up the road. So please take care of yourselves. And I'll see you. Bye-bye.